Hello, welcome back to my channel. Reminiscent here with another reading. We're having a big moon energy here with this Gemini full moon eclipse. So we're gonna do the Jupiter, Moon, Saturn, and Sun spread. I was about to say square. There's definitely a square happening right here. Neptune moving direct now. It will square the nodes. So there's definitely a bunch of lies or illusions coming to, peak. You have the one hand, you have so many truths with Gemini, and then Sag, the fire is like you actually seeing through the experiences that become your truth. So we kind of do find our real foundations, the outlet being Virgo, the only one that doesn't have any planets in the house right now. So we definitely are able to ground ourselves in facts now that we see all the truth we need to see. Some may be kind of disheartening, but believe it or not, everything's always work out for the best. Now, let's just get into it. So in the Jupiter position, right here we have Uranus Genius, number 9. So this card, of course, talks about the planet Uranus, how it relates to the sky in heaven, and how it's a higher octave of Mercury. And Uranus currently is in Taurus retrograde. It just did an opposition to Venus and Scorpio. So there was some questioning, or there is some type of mystery that had to awaken in us with the moon conjuncting Uranus recently, the previous moon cycle in Taurus. So we definitely became enlightened on an emotional level on what our higher mind needs us to recognize or see within ourselves. And the advice we have here is to be your most authentic self, which is what Uranus definitely is all about. Mercury has a multi-dimensional aspect where you're able to communicate in different ways. You're able to feel and make different types of decisions and choices in millions of ways. However, Uranus being related to the sky and heaven, there's a more wider perception of how you think and how information comes down like a zap or a lightning strike. And it's about, getting down to the nitty-gritty of what is most true and authentic to you. That is your genius. So moving on to the moon position is, what will be funny is the solar eclipse revolution. What's being hidden but will eventually come to the forefront here in the moon position. The solar eclipse is actually happening on December 14th in, Sun and Sag, new moon. But this full moon lunar eclipse is a preview of some changes in perspective that we will be had. And here we have new love and forgiveness. So there definitely can be some type of relationship renewals or some things that we used to do that we haven't done in a while, that our expansion is in being our most authentic self, and we start to realize, like, even though some things are being cut off or some things are being changed, there may have been new love or forgiveness or both that may have been blocking our ability to be ourselves. I can also see this as like starting a new way to let go of the things that come up during this full moon lunar eclipse, because the lunar full moons are about releasing and letting go of things that have been built up over time. During the new moon to the full moon, we work and put in energy towards the things that we do want to manifest, and the full moon is seeing the full emotional aspect of that, and then making choices from the full moon to the new moon to get rid of things that do not serve us, that's not in alignment. So if our focus is to expand on being our most authentic self, especially walking into this Aquarian age, we definitely want to be aware of what is blocking our solar plexus energy from allowing us to feel a new life or a new love, and forgiving parts of us that allowed that block to sit there and, kind of disconnect us from what we truly wanted overall. And it may not have to be a literal love or relationship. It could just be certain things that we wanted to manifest in the material world that may have been blocked or hasn't came through yet because we were so focused on doing things that were not true to our authentic self. So in the Saturn position, what we need to work on, we have Chiron healing number 8. So we've been putting in a lot of healing energy or helping others to heal through certain circumstances and situations. 8 is a karmic number as well. So some of the things we could be healing from either have to do with our ability, again, to manifest what we want, and needing to go in a direction that, we probably didn't want to go in, or we feel tugs to go into, but, we've just been comfortable running the status quo because when you look around in the environment, that's the most, that gets the most attention, that gets the most respect. But you need to continue to, of course, using your geniusness, expanding your geniusness allows you to heal parts of yourself that could have cut you off here, with your ability to manifest the endless abundance and in turn offer a change in direction. So if we're working to get through something, we can't take shortcuts. It's going to come up. It's going to happen regardless. And the sun did trine Chiron recently as well. So it's like hitting rock bottom finally in some type of situation, or even just right now in the present, because we go through these cycles with the number 8 being there. We go through this thing where we get reeled down or we become very hurt over things going a certain way, and we're not understanding like what's really wrong. And then the breakthrough happens where it's like, okay, we had to go through this moment of darkness, or this moment of pain, or this moment of being wounded, in order to understand that your abundance is not going to leave you. You are abundance. Healing the mind, Gemini, healing your mind to understand that you are endless abundance, and that sometimes with Gemini energy, we do have to change direction. We do have to see things from a different perspective than we have before, and doing that might cause us to have pain that we didn't know was there, or we can anticipate the pain being there, which is why we don't want to change directions. But if that endless abundance is what we are all looking to build, then you should definitely, especially during the eclipse season, expect directional changes. So yeah, definitely with Chiron being in Aries right now, our ego's physical body, our headspace, how headstrong we are, all of those can cause us to have a change in direction. So whatever changes we do have to make and learn from, let it be one that is allowing you to get closer to understanding how endlessly abundant we already are, and not to be taking it off course and squandering that to circumstances, situations, people, ideas that don't align with us. And lastly, the sun card, the outcome, is number 2, moon. So and the moon, of course, will be in Gemini, a very communicative moon, very understanding, able to pick up how people think and feel, even if they're separated and divided. We have here the triple goddess sign here as well. So with that, we have stand your ground. So there definitely will be an emotional accumulation where we get to see, what truths have we been holding on to that needs to be communicated. First to ourselves, because then that would include us being our most authentic self. So having a conversation with yourself about what your soul path really truly is and standing your ground in that. And then you can face the rest of the world where If anyone tries to put you back into a place or send you back into a place that you fought to work yourself out of, you stand your ground. You've already had that conversation with yourself. You're not going backwards. You can spread that soul truth to others. You can allow others to be aware that even though what works for the popular or the most, the 1%, et cetera, like that type of, energy, what worked for them in the past isn't working for us anymore. And we all know that on a soul level. So stand your ground. Find what works for you. You don't have to be so quick to jump at things, especially when it's not pertaining to your geniusness, your authenticity. And it's okay to forgive and love on yourself for blocking yourself from things that, and continue to block yourself off from things that blocks you from being authentic to yourself. Because people will willingly put anything in your way in your path if you allow them. And if you have in the past, or even if you realize it, even in this moment, it's okay to find new love for yourself and forgive yourself for the revolution that you didn't know you needed to have while you go through this change of direction of understanding what your endless abundance is. And it doesn't have to necessarily be physically money. It doesn't have to be a house. It doesn't have to be a car. It doesn't even have to be a loving partner. It could just be the fact that you made it another day to speak and wake up and see the sun, feel the rain, smell the trees. That endless abundance. Nature isn't going anywhere. Your soul knows that. So stand your ground on what you value. And don't be afraid to communicate how you truly feel. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to communicate, facts and truths or whatever it is, or perspectives that, the community of your body has agreed that, it's going to stand its ground on. Just personally speaking, going through cycles of, wherever Gemini is in your chart is going to be the most affected, because it's highlighting as part of your wheel, your cycle, your time, your clock, that there needs to be some type of releasing. And sometimes a community of people will make you feel like you need to talk yourself in or out of situations or choices that they think is best for you. But what you really need and want to do is stand your ground in what your authentic self wants and believes on a soul level. You need to stand for yourself. And it's not to be disrespectful. It's definitely not to challenge authority on purpose. But it is it's what it means to be in full alignment. It's what it means to be fully aware of the direction you're meant to walk through. With the North Node being in Gemini during this eclipse season, we get to focus and manifest only. This is all about manifestation for the next 2 weeks. What do you want to manifest? And you can manifest with your mouth. You can manifest with writing. That's Gemini energy, most definitely. So what are you standing your ground in? Is it based on what other people want for you, or is it something that you want for yourself? Is it getting you more in touch with the endless abundance you have within, or is it taking you away from being true to yourself? Are you open to a change in direction, or are you afraid to change directions because of what someone else might think? And going into this Aquarian generation that we're facing right now, and we've already started, opinions will be very sensitive to a lot of people. But it doesn't matter. Or will you let it? That's my reading for this full moon eclipse. There'll definitely be a lot of changes, which is why I'm glad that change in direction is there. However, the universe knows what it's doing. Our soul is already at work. We just need to keep our spirits elevated into being true to itself. Not allowing our spirits to be tampered with or tried or even just, pulled on the string like a carrot stick. Don't allow someone to carrot stick your spirit. Do not allow people to trick you or try to bait you into doing things that are not truly your authentic self. There's plenty of good ideas out there on how to live a life. Plenty of good ones. But not everybody's is going to be the same. And we all need to remember that during this transition from the old world into the new one. A lot of things that brought security to people is not bringing security to us anymore. And it's for a reason. And to fight for the old ways is only a losing battle. And only people who are aware and are in touch and aligned, whether they are spiritually aware from an astrological, numerological standpoint or not, like you just know. You just know. You know if you're in touch with yourself, and you know when you're out of touch with who you are. So do your best to, not allow your devilish nature to get the better of you, because we're all going to be tested. We're all supposed to be tested. That's how you know if you're true. That's how you know if you're authentic. That's how you know if you have integrity. And with the world watching, live like nobody is. Be responsible. Be integral. Be open to being your endless abundance. And it has no choice. If it was running away from you, it'll come back. If you felt like love was elusive to you, it's coming back. If you felt like you couldn't be true to yourself, just do it and it'll come back. Remain in touch with your higher self. And be willing to forgive yourself for when you make errors and judgment. It was all supposed to be that way for a higher reason that only you know, because it's you. Sometimes we make different mistakes. Sometimes we make the same mistakes other people have made. But what we get out of it from our own experience, Jupiter, Sagittarius, is one thing. But what we choose to make out of it and what we learn from it, Gemini, is based on the choices we make after it. So make good decisions, soul decisions. Be aligned, be authentic, and always remember that love is balance. Balance is basically love. We romanticize love a lot, but love doesn't have anything to do with emotions. It has everything to do with balance. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, your experience. This eclipse season as well. This is a part of some type of higher community. So if you're able to share, like, and subscribe, definitely do so. You can share this with anyone who is or isn't aware of this eclipse season to get them abreast to what's going on in the world on a biological, spiritual type level. But yeah, this is the time for us to expand in our geniusness, use our skills and gifts and talents, be authentic, no matter what that looks like. Be yourself. That is your genius. Peace.